My talk is titled Sculpting, Not Scaling. I myself am an interaction designer with a focus on human data interaction. I studied at the Zurich University of the Arts in interaction design, and I'm the co-founder and the managing director of Interactive Things, a design and development studio that I've been building and leading since 15 years now. My presentation today is not a conclusive framework on how to scale an information design business. Instead, I'm trying to share experiences building interactive things, which is the only thing that I know. So I thought about looking at this three intertwined and fundamental aspects of our practice. That is the purpose, that is the craft, and that is the culture within our team. And it's important for me to first acknowledge that even though I'm the one presenting today, but these values, these principles, these approaches have been developed by our entire team of past and present employees. So let me first start with a snippet out of our purpose statement that I value a lot. Our studio is a place to think, create, and learn, a space where we come together and collaborate with people we like and respect, for people we want to serve, towards a future we want to see become a reality. And even before we started Interactive Things, we were always fascinated by these interdisciplinary design studios and ateliers, such as the Ray and Charles Eames studio. IDEO has been mentioned before, or Frog, but also from the computer labs where theory and practice merge, such as the Xerox PARC or the MIT Media Lab. We were inspired by computational and generative design, by the work of John Maeda, Ben Fry, Casey Rees, but also Zach Lieberman or Golan Levy in sort of like the mid-2000s, just as well as by more applied information design by the leading studios in these early days, such as Stamen, Pitch, Periscopic, Lost, Catalog Tree, or Berg. I met my co-founders while studying at the Zurich University of the Arts between 2005 and 2008, and we valued the collaboration both inside the university and outside. We collaborated on research studies, freelance projects, and open source software. And we dreamed up the vision of an independent studio solving real problems for real people, where design and technology go hand in hand and also stand on equal ground. So I love the sort of like metaphor of the two souls that Gabriele mentioned, and maybe in contrast to how they are approaching it, we to this day try to harmonize those two in the same body. A year after we graduated, we came back together and left our jobs and started Interactive Things, a design and development studio for human data interaction, with a mission to make data accessible, understandable, and actionable for everyone, which usually means that we, similar to what we've heard in the previous presentations, help organizations discover insights in data, make sense of these insights, and convey these insights to their audiences. Let's look briefly at the type of work that we do. Maybe contrary to other businesses, over the years, we have narrowed our focus of services. We provide our clients, despite growing in capacity and growing in competency. We always shaved away activities and deliverables that either we were not really well equipped to do, or that didn't add value to the solution to the problems that our clients came to us with. So we tried to, over and over again, focus more and more on the essence of what we need to do. And today we provide specialized services in research, strategy, design, and development that are necessary to build great data products. At Interactive Things, we have a set of 16 long-term value-based goals without a permanent state of done. So those are never achievable for us, but they help us coordinate, they help us to direct the actions. So they act in a way as our overarching vision and help us to define in which direction to move. And each year, everyone on our team reviews and rates these goals by importance and by the progress that we have made in the past year. Excellent work quality is consistently rated one of the most important ambitions for our team. Therefore, we constantly invest in refining how we collaborate internally with our clients and with our partners. As an example for this, last year, 2024, we worked a lot on a company-wide initiative to elevate the quality standard across all our projects, all our products, and all our teams. Now, quality assurance and quality control, as you might guess, might not sound like the most exciting aspects to work on, especially if there's so much hype around AR, VR, XR, AI, ML, LLM, and all the other acronyms. It felt almost quaint to spend an entire year focusing on such a simple matter as the quality of our work. During this initiative, we filled gaps in our understanding and definition of what quality is, and we developed guidelines and processes to help our team achieve this level of quality. And such gaps are kind of okay to have if you're 3 or 5 people, because knowledge is shared much more easily, and it's much easier to quickly pull somebody in and help push something forward. But consistency, as we have also heard in the previous presentations, becomes much harder to maintain with a team of 10 or 20 people, let alone 35 or 50 or 100. But I can speak to that. We are 22 people, and so these are the problems that we already see. Quickly looking at who our clients are. So most of our clients are working in the fields of public service, humanitarianism, technology, finance, media, and academia. We consciously cultivate a select portfolio of sort of long-lasting and impactful partnerships. We choose our clients that are aligned with our values and our ethics, and prioritizing organizations with a positive impact on our society and environment. And from the beginning, we actively positioned ourselves on the international stage. Being from Switzerland, in Zurich, we have a fairly small geographical context, so reaching clients beyond our borders was important to us. And this also opened us to opportunities to work with exciting organizations worldwide. And similarly to the type of work that we do, we have learned which types of clients are the best fit for us. And we have actively shaped our processes to best serve them. For us, specifically, these are data owners in municipal, regional, and national governments, international and multilateral organizations, and established technology companies with a strong sense of societal responsibility. But knowing who you best work for also means that we learned which types of organizations we are not the right fit for. And we take that as one of the considerations when we decide on accepting or declining project inquiries. And also similar to our client portfolio, we also cultivate a select portfolio of products that we develop. For us, we have learned that we prefer long-term, last product development that provides long-term value to our clients and their users. And this approach has obvious benefits in the form of you have a continuous engagement with a client, resulting in steady revenue. But with this ambition also comes an additional responsibility for proactive product stewardship and sustainable product maintenance. Knowing both sides, the at times strenuous long-term product development, and then on the other side, the exciting short-term projects, there are upsides and downsides to both of these approaches without a clear right or wrong. So I can just speak for ourselves, and for us, the first, the long-term, the lasting, the sustainable, is more fitting and more rewarding for our business. And here are a few sort of like milestones that just had a big impact on our business and our growth. The first project was Ville Vivante for the city of Geneva back in 2012, which was our first governmental commission, and it resulted in a sort of like mix between a digital product and a public exhibition. The second one, Fukushima for the Neue Zürcher Zeitung in 2013, the time of the data explanation, as Christian Mark mentioned it, was our first long-form data journalism piece, which then resulted in a long-term collaboration with the newspaper to build up their internal processes and capacity. The third, Education Inequalities for UNESCO, also in 2013, was our first big data platform for humanitarian data. And this is also a product that we are, since that day, are continually operating, maintaining, and further developing. So it's a little bit over 10 years now. Then the fourth is Wellbeing in Germany for the German Chancellor's Office back in 2016, was our first big foreign government collaboration. The Going Digital Toolkit for the OECD back in 2019 was our first collaboration with OECD, an organization that has done stellar data visualization pieces before, most notably the Better Life Index by Maurice Stefaner. And it sparked a series of further collaborations with the organization. And then most recently, the COVID-19 dashboard for the Swiss Federal Office for Public Health in 2020, and over the course of the following years of the pandemic, has for us definitely been the most significant contribution to public life in Switzerland, and again, inspired a series of specialized applications of a similar kind for other federal offices. But besides our client commissions, we invest time in our own innovation. We collaborate with universities and institutes and labs to conduct research or help them conduct the research. We have our own practice of self-initiated experiments to explore interesting topics or just recharge creatively. We build, like some of those experiments turn into products, Catalog, an open source platform for documenting UI systems, Prisma, a chart generator, and Swiss Maps. Those are all open source software that we maintain and provide to the community. And we have always been and continue to be sort of like engaged with publications, either contributing to books or releasing our own publications. One of the examples is the Substratum series, where Gabriele's co-founder, Giorgia Lupi, had an interview in. And then we organize communities. Back in the day, we were part of the initial days of the Open Data Association here in Switzerland. Then we started Hacks Hackers in Zurich. And these days, we're organizing the Data Visualization Zurich Meetup. And if we can, we also try our best at teaching and mentoring students or young professionals, either at universities or outside of the university. To do this innovation and also to provide perspective for our team, we provide them with a innovation stipend. So that's either time or money that they can use to pursue self-directed research development. It's sort of like a yearly budget that they can have and that they spend in whatever is most interesting to them. And very similarly, we also offer an education stipend. So if they don't just want to explore themselves, but if they want either continue with education, training courses, or conference attendances, then we provide the time and money to do so. And I think that brings me to sort of like the culture, because yeah, we also heard today working as a team is one of the hardest things that you will have to learn, building and sculpting a business. We started out in a small room, just big enough to fit 5 desks in a quiet residential area in Zurich. And over the first 3 years, we added additional rooms that helped us to build up the capacity to around 8 people. And back in 2014, it was time for us to move into a bigger space. Our next studio, close to the lake of Zurich, now offered us space for up to 12 people. And at that time, we started to feel the need for more structure and oversight. And that was also the time where we introduced my role as managing director, stepping away from the technical design and development work that I was doing for our clients and taking on the role of the business, or as Christian Marx said, the designing of the business. And then in 2017, again, it was time to move into yet a bigger space. And we moved into our current office where I'm sitting right now in the heart of Kreis 4 in Zurich. And over the years, even more structure became necessary. And so my partners moved as well into leadership roles as design lead, as technology lead, and as operations lead. As you see here in this chart, over the past few years, we experienced substantial growth to currently 22 people. But you also see that the y-axis of this chart is capped at 20. And we consider for ourselves, for our company setup and for our business, around 20 people to be the right size. It allows us to build strong personal bonds and maintain the quality that we expect in all the work that we do. We have always restricted ourselves to only hiring when we are confident that we can provide sustainable long-term employment. We felt that as our responsibility as the employer, that employees are not here for just a single project or just a temporary need for additional capacity. We always wanted for them to have both a long-term place and a career trajectory that is interesting to them. So, and I think this might be one of the most important learnings for me that I would love to share with the others is to scale only after you've built a larger, more robust foundation than you currently need. And by foundation here, I mean foundation in the sense of business fundamentals. So have a stronger strategy, a more robust business operation, well-functioning sales and finances that allow you to bring new people in onto that foundation that is stable enough to hold them. So today we're 22 employees with 2 rotating internship positions per year. Our team members come from 12 different countries, speaking 9 different mother tongues. So for us, it was important both to open up to international clients as well as to international talent. So we settled on English as our studio language already back in 2012 when we hired our second permanent employee, Piotr. And fun fact, our first permanent employee, Jan, he's still with us today. So that's 13 years for him now, together with others like Tanya, Julia, Gerhard, and Tom, who have surpassed a decade with us now. So prioritizing personal growth for our employees and well-being and equal support across disciplines has always been important to us. That's why we want to have a clearly defined career system and a transparent salary system so that people know what we as the owners earn and that they know what they can expect to earn. And you might remember that I said our vision was a studio where design and technology stand on equal ground. And that also means with our salaries. So all our disciplines, design, development, and management, all earn equal pay, equal salaries. I would like to wrap up with a few insights into sort of like our traditions and our routines. We have weekly showtimes, which are short presentations of project work or new findings or improvement initiatives. Then our discipline sub-teams have weekly knowledge time or technical weeklies where they advancing their craft. We have adventure time once a quarter where we go out and experience something outside of work together. The current photo there is from our recent excursion to CERN in Geneva. We have a quarterly team forum where we discuss the sensitive, personal, and emotional topics outside of our technical work. These are conversations usually about how we relate to each other, working as humans in our organization. Once a year, we have a internal hackathon. Probably doesn't need any explanation. And then also once a year, we have an annual team-wide retreat where we collectively reflect upon where we stand as an organization and where we're heading and make the necessary readjustments, inviting everybody to contribute to the strategy of our company. And all of these formats, they have manifested and evolved over time whenever we felt the need for a dedicated space to align ourselves. And this brings me to my final thought for current and future leaders, but also for everybody who wants to make a difference in their organization. This thought is based on the belief that organizations are more than the founders, more than the CEOs, more than the sums of their parts. Organizations have emerging purposes, desires, and ambitions. And so the best that we can do to achieve our goals aligned with these emerging qualities of our organizations is to listen and respond to what the organization needs and wants.